people, welcome to Stay Lit. This is your Christian lifestyle channel. We talk about current events, we talk about movies, fashion, anything you can think of, you name it, we talk about it. All from a Christian perspective. Now, 2025 already rolled in with a bang. No pun intended, with the terrorist attacks in New Orleans and in New York.
That's my bad. It's Vegas, y'all. Not New York. Charge it to my head, not my heart. As you were.
Now, there are some reports saying that there may be some connectivity between the attack in New Orleans, the attack in New York, with Fort Bragg and all this other stuff. More details to come, I'm sure of it. Now, also, on the tail end of 2024, we did get a former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch. He was indicted on prostitution, sex trafficking, and a whole bunch of other shady and seedy stuff. Now, as it usually goes with the elites and the millionaires, once they hit jail and them cuffs hit them, all of a sudden they health starts to deteriorate real fast. So they saying they got dementia now. I like to forget too. If I'm about to, go to prison and be up in general public with a whole bunch of other people, a general pop with a whole bunch of other people that they don't treat people that deal with sex trafficking and child abuse. They don't deal well with that. Jailhouse justice is a real thing. But besides all that, on a lighter note, we made it. 2025, here we are. Now, Stay Lit did start out as a music-based Spotify channel. All we did was monthly, we put out the latest song or artist that was releasing that month. We only put the hottest on there. And of course the link will be in the description below, but every month, whatever song dropped, whatever artist dropped, if it was hot, we put it on the playlist. So, this is a 2024 wrap up. We got some music for you. We are highlighting some of the artists that were played the most from the playlist, introducing some new ones to you, reminding you of some you might have forgot, and just vibing out to some people that's just been knocking it out the park. Look, 1K Phew is a volume shooter. He putting them out there. He letting them go. If they hit, they hit. He letting them go. Lecrae drop. Jackie Hill Perry came out of retirement. Shout out, salute. She got them thumping tracks. She make me wish I had some 12s. I promise you. I ain't got none. But the 10s I got, they not for Jack. Okay. And Mike Teasy, he been putting them out too. Mission. It's a lot of people on the playlist. Okay. Madeline Ryan, my girl. I gotta give it up for Madeline Ryan. Okay. Look, is Madeline or Madison? Either way, whoever. Maddie, you my girl. You've been putting it down. If you don't know her, check her out. Check out the playlist. You will not be disappointed. But just to give you a little peek of what we got going on, here go Mike Teasy with Feel Good. Let's get it.
Is everything okay?
It's a very weak pulse. This pulse is extremely weak.
Oh my God!
Oh, bro, that's shocking.
Yeah.
You know that thing?
Ay, how you feeling today? If you ask me, I say I'm feeling great. Woke up this morning, nigga, got some more grace. Clothes on my back and got food on my plate. Ay, I gotta get a little thanks. Whatever I needed, he filled in the blanks. Now I Hundreds is coming in huge. They probably thinking I'm talking about Langston. Look, ain't got time to argue who the GOAT. You know G.O.D. gon' be my vote. He told me come, I hopped up out the boat. I should've drowned, but he kept me afloat. I was down my back against the ropes. Was gaining doubt, but I was losing hope. Tried to find another way to cope, but I found God. Now I gotta let the world know. I feel good. Walk in the building like what's in my pocket is more than $1 million. Pray to the Lord about some people who sick when he go and start healing them. I see it's woke up this morning, I'm in my right mind, I'm feeling divine. God is good, all the time and all the time. God is good. Man, I'm feeling marvelous. This the top cause I seen where the bottom is. In his presence, I be where the Father is. He ain't having my praise like a colonist. Feeling good, you can go ahead and out of this. I know God coming through, I'm an optimist. Know they waiting on me to call it quits. I wrote so many songs, I'm a novelist. And I got plenty more to go. Smile up on my face, I strike a pose. Feeling good, I'm fresh from head to toe. When he took my burden, stress went out the door. Let me take it up another note. Bird is light and he got easy up. Man, I ain't trying to keep it on the low. I just gotta let the world know. I feel good. I feel good. Walk in the building like what's in my pocket is more than $1 million. Pray to the Lord about some people who sick when he go and start healing them. I see it's woke up this morning, I'm in my right mind, I'm feeling divine. God is good, all the time and all the time. God is good. What you doing?
And welcome back. Welcome back. Now, I told y'all Jackie Hill came out of retirement, right? Sabbatical or whatever she was doing. She back. So before I let y'all go, I gotta give y'all a little Jackie. Cause look, I'm a bass. I was gonna say I'm a bass head, but I don't think that. No, not a bass head. I love bass. Okay, I love to hear it knock. I'm from the South. I'm a Southern boy. You know what I'm saying? I love to hear it knock. And Jackie let it knock. So here goes Jackie here up here with "Leave Me Alone." Go ahead, just leave me alone. Leave me alone and listen to this and watch this video.
Hey, load it up, boss.
Yeah, I've been watching my wrongs. Devil trying to come at me, throwing that shade, leave me alone. Yeah, I ain't trying to slide back before I react, take to the throne. Yeah, come in that cap, you ain't really tap, what is you on? Please leave me alone. You don't want me to start preaching, please leave me alone. Before I start casting out these demons, please leave me alone. You don't want me to start preaching, please leave me alone. Before I start casting out these demons. Got it flooded.
I am freer than I ever been. You ain't never been. I am freer than I ever been. You ain't never been. I am freer than I ever been. You ain't never been. To the hell I been irrelevant. Cerebellum spin earth, fire, wind, this elements. Tell them heaven send a better wind up in this ghetto. It's letters sent from Ephesus. It's Exodus. I'm getting free like it's 106 at 6 p.m. Repent, I better be. You don't like me, why you telling me? I'ma turn it, Timmy Turner, here's the other cheek. And the other cheek, I ain't twerking, I'm just blessing enemies.
Please leave me alone. You don't want me to start preaching, please leave me alone. Before I start casting out these demons, please leave me alone. You don't want me to start preaching, please leave me alone. Before I start casting out these demons. Got it flooded.
Man, these frenemies be mini-me's, they copycats. Judas want the juice, but who the loser in the body bag? If it get Medusa, we ain't rockin'. Get Medusa, we ain't rockin'. You can stop it with that steak stuff. Tell them brood of vipers if they bite us, it won't say much. I turn the tightest when I need lunch. How you gon' be vegan when you beefing with the same bunch? Say in love with Jesus, we don't mean it, that's a metaphor. We settle for the reason he was bleeding. We some heathens, I'm a rebel with a conscience. Meddle with the devil, Betty get you in some nonsense. I'm nauseous and sick of content that's common. More in common with some ponchos. It's pompous and wonder why we godless. It's obvious to me that it's fraudulent to bargain in the temple. This bargain instrumental is carving in the whips again. It's field day, I'm cotton picking, nappy headed, dreaded, brown skin. It's genetic in my circle, only zealous. Don't do jealousy, that's like testing ketamine. Just a beggar telling debtors death is just a debtor's fee. Now rest in peace to Esther, she best at blessing me. Test the king, this chest ain't checking me. Guess who next? The queen, the bride of Jesus.
Please leave me alone. You don't want me to start preaching. Please leave me alone before I start casting out these demons. Please leave me alone. You don't want me to start preaching. Please leave me alone before I start casting out these demons. Got it flooded, 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 flooded. Boss it. Boss it. Boss it. Boss it.
Alright, now were you disappointed? I know you wasn't disappointed. I know you wasn't, because I told you. Now welcome back. So now we're going to get into our topic for today. Our topic for today is bridging the gap between the ages. Now this is nothing new, so I'm not going to blow it up to make it seem like it's more than it's not. But I feel like in today's time, we have the vocabulary, the language, and the know-how to do better in this area. And if you know better, you do better. So let's do better. So we went out and we talked to some of the people on the street and got their opinion on what can we do to bridge the gap between the youngsters and the elders and the people that's been around, got some years on them, got some wear and tear on them tires, you feel what I'm saying? So let's see what the street's talking about.
You know, I'm glad you asked that question because I've actually been wrestling with that over the last year or so. You know, the more I look at how culture and society has shifted, it feels like we're treating children, even as they get older, still like children. Yeah. Instead of treating them like the adults that they're going to become and having the hard conversations when they're 8, 9, 10 years old. Not to the extent where you're oversaturating them with too much of the culture, but giving them in doses. Giving them in doses. And equipping them to be ready to have conversations about things that are reality that we go through, economics and all whatnot, you know. And I think having those conversations early on, we prepare them for adulthood. We don't do a good job preparing kids for adulthood. We're treating teenagers as if they're still adolescents and even young adults as if they're teenagers. Like, you know, I think about the fact the founding of this country, whether you approve of it or not, however you feel on whatever side you land on it, many of the signs of the Declaration of Independence were, you know, in their late teens, early 20s. These were young men fighting against the royal crown to establish a country, writing the Declaration of Independence, all of these different things. And you think to yourself, these were, I guess we picture them being these older gentlemen, but they were young men, you know, and yet for some reason, how many 20-year-olds today will we want to put in charge of running a nation or Fortune 500 company? We won't, but why not? And that's the thing. Those of us who are older, we shouldn't be afraid of bringing in younger voices, younger generations into leaders of junior leadership positions if we're in that position of allowing them to do it, or talking to our own kids as if they were adults and talking about adult situations and how they would handle it. Giving them scenario-based situations, I think, is important to keep their minds critically thinking, because school's not producing critical thinkers. They're just producing test takers so that they can, you know, get the funding they need by the Department of Education and they can keep their doors open, but they're just pushing kids through. A lot of kids can't read on grade level, but they can take a test. We're not creating and raising up a good generation that's going to come after us. And if we want to give this country over to another generation, we need to prepare them for it. Yeah. I think that's the reason why we see so much older leadership in our government now. You know, you got people 70, 80s, 90 years old running this country. Why isn't it they haven't passed the baton to a younger generation? It's because they either don't feel like the generation behind them is equipped, or they just don't want to relinquish it because they don't trust the generation coming after them. Yeah. And that's shame on them for not preparing them and giving them the culture and the ideologies that they want to continue to see flourish. So the reason why we're in the situation we're in now, I believe It's because younger people are trying to find their own voice identity, but the older folks are not trying to bridge that gap, as you said. And I think the way we do that is by, having that conversations when they're younger and not being afraid to press into those areas.
And what'll really do it, and as always go that way at most part and most times, the adults have to pretty much have a lot more patience and understanding and definitely tolerance.
Yeah.
See, the tolerance level now is very low. The patient level now is very low. So much has gone through people's lives, they have no patience and tolerance for others.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that matter, it's just they got different lives and different sites now. Things, situations and manners are faster, and they have a little bit more the opportunity of situations, and work ethic ain't so hard anymore. Sorry to say.
Yeah.
In the times of eras, we had to walk on. We had to do a lot more walking, but now ain't nothing to jog and get somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of that is the understanding of the upper, authorities, and the figures, and you gotta step up to the plate though. If you do really care for the youth, if you do really care for the individual, for their lives, man, and do the best you can, man, and really be a mentor. You don't hear that anymore. You really don't hear that anymore. Like mentors and guiders and somebody you really look up to. So you just have to really take that part again of a mentor and be patient and understanding, man, and be determined to change somebody's life.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I want to piggyback off that as well. Patience. A lot of parents these days are not parents. They pretty much just let their children play video games and, be out in the streets all times of night. They really don't pay attention to their children these days because there's a lot of parents that are single parents. And it's just not women now. It is men also as well. So being a parent and having a lot of responsibility, especially if you have multiple children, it can be overwhelming and a handful. But at the end of the day, when you make the choice to bring a child in this world, you have to take on the responsibilities that come along with it.
Hey, welcome back. Some valid points made from the streets. Streets is talking, some valid points. So, I think, just my humble opinion, I'm going to give my little 2 cents, and then we're going to roll on up out of here. But I feel like one of the major things that is hindering the communication or where the breakdown is coming at is a lot of times I feel like we're listening to respond instead of listening to understand. And in a nutshell, what's being said is this current generation is soft. And that might be true. But that doesn't mean that the older generation ain't just a little too hard. Just saying, it wasn't a whole lot of hugging and coddling going on, while we was coming up. So, with all things, there should be a healthy balance. But now that we know better and we've grown and now we're doing the work for ourselves, now it's time to reach back to this new crew that's coming in and impart some wisdom and try to show them the way and mentor and bring people up. Because when we all, in our hover rounds and playing golf, chilling on the porch, they gonna be running things. And I don't know about you, but they need some mentor. They need some mentorship. They need some hugs. It's on us to go ahead and bridge that gap. Because the younger crew, they don't know what they don't know. And they're not going to reach forward. So we got to reach back. And vice versa. If you are younger and you understand that you don't know, then reach forward. Ask somebody. You see somebody in your community that you see is moving in the right direction, then reach out to them. Talk to them. Say, how did you get the way you are? Because I want to go there. It's all about communication. It's all about talking. And it's all about being humbled enough to accept conversation and accept, the resources. Because for me, it's a very humbling thing to have to be like, yeah, you're right. 2 or 3 years old. I got a teenage toddler. And sometimes we be sitting down having conversations and I be losing arguments. But when she right, she right. And I gotta be like, baby, you got it. You right. That's what I said. And you right. You know, it is what it is. But that's just a humbling and I feel like a good thing. Because kids can be right and parents can be wrong. And it's okay. That's life. You ain't batting 1,000 all the time. But I feel like when we can get to a place where we can be open-minded and communicate like that, I think that will be the first step to seeing actual change in the community and with that dynamic between the young and the old. All right, good people. Thank y'all for tuning in. Remember, like, subscribe, come back, engage, do all the things. Because Stay Lit is a lifestyle, not a podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in.